So you got fucking snow again. Anyhow, I'm gonna take some of these fish sticks. Got some of these fish sticks right here. Check that out. Got some fish sticks. And take that. Drop it. Walk around. Look at a double layer here. Drop the heat down some. Fish has to be up to like 285. No, it's 265. I think it is for fish. That's what fish has to be up to. But anyhow, oh yeah, look outside here, guys. Look at that fucking snow. I can't see through the window. But yeah, snow yet again. And anyhow, let's have a little chat here. Let's have a little chat. How can I put you up somewhere? Where can I put you up at? Fuck, we'll put you right here. Okay. So. Okay. Put this on. Alright, shout out to Backwoods. Bam, I had to buy this shit. Motherfucker should be sponsoring me. What the fuck? And there was one day, I don't know if you've seen a roll that big, but that is a fucking paper. That will get you fucked up. Well, not the paper itself, but you know what I'm saying. Where's the chat at? Whoop. Where's the chat at? Chat at right there. No chat connecting to the chat. Come on. So either way, you guys, sorry about the generator running in the background. No, I'm not. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on here, take a couple dabs, give you guys a little breakdown on where I'm at this week. What I mean by that is like emotionally, mentally, spiritually, where I'm at with things in my life, and kind of give you guys just a rundown on what's up. So yeah. As you guys know, some of you guys may not, I've recently decided that for me in my life, I have to get myself back. And about 9 years ago, I met a lady named Gina, and offered up my house just as a stranger. One addict to another addict, just trying to give somebody the opportunity to get away from something that they claimed was bad and they didn't want. Yeah, I'll admit it. Had a connection with her that I never had with any other girl in my life. Anybody that goes through relationships are going to feel things, do things, and experience things that they haven't probably in a past relationship. But one thing that I do know to be true and accurate is that every single time you go through a relationship breakup, at the end of it, you think it's the end. You think it's the all. It's think that like that's the one you want. Oh fuck! Where'd that rock? Where'd that fucker go? Okay. Bam. And you think it's like the end and that's what you want, and that's what you like. But the fact is, look at it. Every single time you went through that, you end up finding something that you never thought you had, or that you could have, or that you end up getting a better outcome than what you thought when you were stuck on stupid. needless to say, I allowed myself to backslide, backtrack, adjust my morals, my beliefs, my values for a relationship and for the fact of what I felt for Gina. Yes, I made the decision myself. Yes, I chose to do it. But the same hand, west of me would be, dude, I don't even know, west would be, okay, I got you now. I had to like visualize the map because it was like, when you're here, everything seems so fucking backwards and so fucking, that I just got to forget like where I'm at, look it on the map, and then what west would be. So I got you on that one. Yeah, it's been snowing here for probably about, well, I got therapy at 4. Yeah, and it was snowing then, so it was about an hour and a half. That's cool to know you're that close, man. Yeah, so anyhow, I've been doing this off-grid thing for a year now. Yes, I came out here with the dream of, like, the dream of retirement, you know what I'm saying? Like, you thought that you found everything you needed or whatever, and you just wanted to go and live that relaxed life, and that's honestly why, and because of the housing crisis, the price of it. And needless to say, I came out here with Gina, and, because she was my dream, I foreseen myself with her forever, I really did, I really truly did. I felt that there was enough strong things to be able to, no matter what, make it through anything that we ever needed to go through and still remain together. And that's why I went to Reno. Anyhow, doing this off-grid thing for about a year, and knowing that this weather is fucking 8-9 months out of the fucking year of this snow and this fucking wind and this bullshit. Knowing that I'm getting myself back into recovery, that I'm actually attending NA meetings, and I'm doing things that nobody's making me do. I'm doing it myself. And, last night, and I know this is supposed to be a, anonymous program, not brought to do as whatever, but I don't give a fuck. This is IRL, this is YouTube, and this is the fucking content I want to provide. What's NA gonna do? Sue me? It doesn't matter. The only thing it's gonna do is probably maybe get the word out there to other people that that may have been going through struggles or are going through struggles or even have relapsed and hold on to so much self-hatred and self-fucking disappointment and self-fucking dissatisfaction. And then on top of that, when that relapse happens and you like how I relapse, I mean, I straight up knew I was relapsing. And one thing that I haven't shared with you guys is, and I'd like to, and some people may not want to hear it, but I'm saying this only from an addict's perspective. And what the program teaches you in regards to what to expect as an addict, and when your life becomes unmanageable, what the result shall be, and then that shall be Gels Institution and Death. What up, Dougie? And yeah, Reno, and I took that all out of my own pocket. It was something that I've never been to Reno, never nothing, and we took a commitment is what it was. It was a commitment. And yeah, I don't want to get on that because that was one thing that I have still struggling with, is the fact of like when you make a commitment to your higher power, you make a commitment to the Creator along to somebody else and to yourself, you are supposed to keep it, man. Your word's your word, and that's all we got in this fucking world, really, is our word, because that builds your integrity, that builds who you are, that builds everything about you. So back to what I'm saying in regards to where my addiction took me, and but this ain't very long ago at all. I'm not proud of it. I'm not trying to brag about it. I'm not trying to do anything besides maybe possibly reach somebody And yeah, I'm taking a dab. You know, how fucking redundant is that? You know what I'm saying? That I'm taking a dab, talking about, but regardless, I've had, and I'm not even gonna justify it, period. Yeah, I smoke weed, and I look at it as a medicine, but bottom line, I'm talking about like dope, meth, whatever they want to call it now. I got clean in 2002 and went to rehab, and when I went to rehab, mentally I had to go into rehab as a different set of mind, rather than just that I was an addict. I had to be very, very clear about my addiction and what I was addicted to. And needless to say, when I relapsed, I knew that I was relapsing, and I let it be known to, you know, even Gina, that you're gonna, like, this is a tyke you don't want, this is a tyke you don't want to see, this is a tyke that you know, you've never seen, you don't know what is about to happen. And so when I knew that, I also at that point, I didn't realize that I was looking over, bending one of my values, my core values of me as a person that I made for myself. It wasn't just to put a boundary up in a relationship. It was something that I've kept, like, so, and I failed to see that. I failed to realize that at the time. And from that time on, you know, the self-guilt and the self-stuff, and you start losing more and more of yourself. And then you question your fact, is your life manageable, is it unmanageable? That's not the fucking point. The point is, you already knew you were an addict, right? You already knew that you were being a fuck-up before, so why don't you start analyzing your mistakes that you've done and start, and I started that process. And when I started that process, it got to the point, you guys, to where right before I got clean, I justified doing something very, very risky to hide behind a word of an addict. And I've never been to that point before where you just wanted to see if what they say is true, that it picks up and it gets worse and worse. But bottom line, you guys, it was a very risky choice, and that helped me be able to realize how grateful I am for life, that in itself, just life, period. We get so caught up on the things that affect us from day to day, the stresses of tomorrow, the whatever of yesterday's, you know what I'm saying? That we lose really truly what every day means to have that air, to have that ability to, you have the ability to think negative, you have the ability to think positive. So if you're just able to try to keep positive and surround yourself with positive and take gratitude and take gratefulness, like how much you're grateful for, like, and this off-grid shit, man, it can get to you hard. I'm telling you, like, it ain't fucking easy to pack your shit in and out. It ain't easy to pack your fucking water in and out. It ain't easy to fucking deal with weather like this. It ain't easy to fucking, it's not an easy fucking life. I didn't fucking move out here to fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's getting to the point to where I realized that for me to be able to get better myself, I have to have my social life back. I have to, like, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a shit. Well, I do give a shit. That's why but what I'm saying is that my social life, dude, I have to have that back, because if I don't got my social life, I ain't got the ability to fucking crack jokes. I ain't got the ability to, and I've never really actually thrived for that social, and knowing that I'm all the way out here, knowing that, you know, there's things that I could do out here that could better a community. You know, like they could be able to, and I have the ability to, because every community needs some type of help. But at the same time, when you look at the pros and the cons, I can sit there and I can get lost in a lot of things that I don't even need to be wasting my time thinking about. But the one thing that keeps coming to mind is the fact that, fuck, I don't even know what the fuck that was. Is that, realistically, this shit ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. And, I have always been more free, but yet the more free part comes at it. So yeah, my free part, like walking down the road or whatever, and then just because a cop wants to fucking wave or whatever, maybe whatever, if we give him the finger and that should be free. That's free, but you know that had consequences. But yet still at the same time, I realized that I don't need dope in my life. I don't need that shit. I don't want that shit in my life. I haven't wanted it. So I needed to buck it up, accept the fact of what I've done wrong, accept my relapse, accept my part in fucking everything, accept the fact that even with me and Gina, that was done even way before my relapse. I just kept allowing myself to bend more and more and more. And all that does is just give up part of yourself to somebody to let them realize how much vulnerable you are around that person or to that person. And, you know, it's my bad. I don't need to put my walls back up against everybody or whatever. But at the same time, I also need to acknowledge that, you know what, I am still who in the fuck I am. And I'm still gonna, but yet I'm going to do nothing but better myself and better with having people around me. So you guys may find that me talking about recovery or recovery type shit may be happening a lot more than what you guys have seen in the past. And that's just because of the fact that I myself know that I'm going to be taking pride, and I am taking pride in the ability to be different. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is that, like, my whole life, you know, was surrounded by drugs in one form or another. The whole fact that your environment, and then to know that for the time that I had clean and where I became in life and how strong I was in life and how much things changed in my life just by burning the fucking fish chicks. Yeah, you guys. Fucking A. Son of a bitch. Okay, I don't know. I don't think that, no, that's not happening. That needs to go back in there. Those are fish, man. Those are getting, yeah. So, that might happen more. The fact that it took something very personal for me to realize that I needed to get my shit together. I'm blessed to not have to experience the fentanyl epidemic, or to be like, that stuff is still alien to me, you know what I'm saying? But it's not alien enough to where I don't know about it, and I don't know how much it affects somebody. And if somebody has enough courage to be different in their world and accept have the desire to stop, because that's all it takes, is just that desire to stop. So, and they're able to do whatever it takes, so in that way they know and they feel as comfortable, and that they for themselves are going to know that when that they're done. And that's how it took me to be when I first got clean. You know, the way that it was, you tell them no. And if they said no, what are you going to do? You know, you give them one warning. These are adults. These are fucking, like, well, most of them back, yeah. And then you just bust them in their face the next time. What are they going to do? They obviously have dope on. They're not going to call the cops, or whatever. And they're not going to ask you to get high again. And I, just in the short time of going to the meeting and doing everything that I'm doing, I am starting to actually question myself about smoking marijuana and even taking my pain pills. I also realized that for maybe 11 years or whatever, I was not recognizing the fact or justifying the fact that marijuana was my prescribed med. So that, you know, and if I look at it to where that, and then, you know, your pain medicine prescribed, but then when you get into the book and you start, and those are the things now that are going through my head in regards to how much of a better of a person do I want to be. Now, it doesn't mean that because of the fact that I'm smoking weed or that I'm taking pills is a word, like it doesn't make you a bad person, but at the same time, you have to acknowledge that you're on them because they're somehow, some way limiting you of being able to do what you need to do, even psych meds or whatever. And it's okay to need those or use them, but yet doesn't give you an excuse to stay where you're at. So if you're not progressing, then you're not fucking, if you're not progressing, you're losing, you're still in the same spot. I don't know how to say it besides that. So yeah, if you're not progressing, you're stuck on stupid. It's time to move. And those times you get like sucked back, and I've been going through those suck back times. And bottom line, I just want you guys to know that it is hard to deal with change. It is hard to first, in the last 3-4 months, be diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, high functioning. When you start looking at things and you look at it more of a positive, and you start looking at the way that you want to change your life and the way that things have changed you, the reality of it that I've noticed is that when I was with Gina, I held on a lot of it was not an unrealistic, but it's a vision, or made it more stronger because of the fact of, in my heart, I felt that when the kids went back or whatever, it affected us both when we stopped being able to communicate. And without realizing it, up until just recently, I viewed Gina as like, she was my wife. She was the kids' mom. She was like, in all my time that I basically had with my kids, that's fighting through all this, she was there. She was, and I knew that the effect that it had on both of us with the kids it was very unstable, and even possible that just that pain alone could have driven us apart. But I did believe that that no matter what, we were always going to, and you know, that's where the Reno thing comes in and everything. But then I look, and I have to acknowledge the fact that I have a connection with her that connects with my kids in regards to what anybody in their head wants to believe is a family. You know, like, you have your family, but then you make your family. And it was like, that was my family, and not just her and the kid, but it was the whole dynamic of what it does to your head on that aspect. Later, Dougie. I'm barely reading these. So yeah, that's one thing that I connected that I didn't realize that I connected. And my trust that I had in her was more trust than I put into anybody. And it was a hard thing to accept that I trusted somebody I shouldn't have trusted, and realizing how much you trusted that person, it's hard to adjust after that. But at the same time, I can't sit there and dwell on it, and I can't look back at it. I just have to let it go. But I do realize that I have a lot of resentments towards a lot of things, and I have a lot of self-inventory that I have to take within myself that I still have to do, and that is coming out almost every single day. And that self-inventory helps me be able to be more humble and accept the fact that I am a fuck up, and other people can be a fuck up, but it's after you fuck up, like that Rocky, it's not about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you got back up, that type of thing. But then it's not just about getting up, it's about taking, if you're not taking that step forward, you're not moving forward, then you're stuck. And I don't want to be stuck no more. And I know that I've accomplished something within the last year, regardless of how much shit I've gone through or whatever. Just within this last year, like I'm going to be owning my land. Like I'm getting everything, and that is something to actually be, for me at least, is very accomplishment. It's something that I never ever seen ever in my life thought would ever to own my own land. You know what I'm saying? Like to have something that no matter what, like my kids will be able to their kids, whatever it is, whenever the world, like regardless, like I own that land. And inside that makes you be able to fill a home, you know what I'm saying? Like this is home. And the thing is that I struggle with the whole off-grid thing and shit, especially doing alone but this is my home, and maybe that's the whole reason why I need to go, is just to figure that out right there, because I was getting to the point to where I'm done, man. I can't do this shit no more. I'm tired of looking at my fingers the way that I look at them because I'm fucking smoking so much. But yeah, at the same time, like, this is home, and if this is going to be my home, then this is where things need to be brought to light, such as more meetings and be more active and get things rolling around here, because around here there isn't very much here. And I know there's a place west of me that has very, very, very strong recovery from what I understand, and they just ain't got the gas to go back and forth and shit like that, and it needs to be close, and people need to have that option. They need to have that. And I guess when I have to look at it with Gina and everything is just that it was a lesson learned in regards to what somebody needs to look out, like something to look out for in your recovery, because I may not have been actively going to meetings, and I may not have, because why you get complacent, you start thinking that you don't need them, you start thinking that, so it was very hard for me to go back to an NA meeting and not feel that remorse and that resentment towards like the program, I guess. My aunt passing away, and it, like, you guys have seen her headstone with the, and yeah, we have to acknowledge the fact that even as a recovering addict, we can make mistakes, but it's about being able to acknowledge those mistakes. And then even if you do lose that date that they talk about, or you do have that relapse, that date can change, yeah, but how long and how many days between you acknowledging that you did relapse to getting your day back? Because the way that it goes, the longer and longer that you keep going from your relapse and you keep getting that date, man, you're just justifying it as in your addict head that you got it under control right now, that you got it, like, you ain't got shit under control. I'm telling you right now. You may thinking you may be mind fucking yourself, but dude, you're doing it with no lube to yourself, because you're the one that's down the road gonna realize that, like, you may have realized your relapse, but you yet again as an addict decided to, or you as a person, because you weren't really addicted again, because you already went through, that's going to prolong you tampering with the fucking devil and waiting to not get burnt, you know what I'm saying? And so Playboy, and you're not, it's not worth it, man, because you know what? Anybody, an addict or an alcoholic, will always justify some way, somehow in their head. And what I'm saying is that for me, I can't, shit, here we go. those fish or not. Like, that wasn't a good idea, I guess. So my life has to be based around that type of stuff. But yes, you're gonna see me smoke weed. Yes, if you like, you can talk shit to me about smoking, but at the same time, you guys might hear more recovery talk, and you guys might hear that type of stuff, or even me talking to myself more in regards to being able to process stuff, because there's not for me at least, I have a lot of changes going on, and I have to not look back, you know what I'm saying? I have to be able to keep looking forward, and I have to be able to find myself, and I'm finding myself even more with the fact of how much daily stress or daily things played into my stress level and got me more tense or got me more agitated or whatever. So yeah, you guys, I gotta jump off here. My phone's about dead. I appreciate y'all. Thanks all for coming in. And yeah, you guys, keep your head up, chest out, keep looking forward, because that's all we got, and remain humble, blessed. Later, guys.